Welcome everybody to our meeting today on Tuesday, April 21st. Our first order of business is to approve the minutes from our last board meeting on April the 7th. We'll ask for a motion to accept the minutes.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good. Minutes are approved. On to next order of business, resolution number 30412.
Yes, Commissioners, considering agreement with Humane Society of Greater KC for the Dog and Jog 15, and I know this event's been going on for several years. It's coming up again here on June 14th, and you have a memo in your packet from Shannon, and she's here to answer any questions.
Good afternoon, Commissioners.
Good afternoon.
Kathy Nichols is here with the Humane Society to discuss this year's event and how last year's went. But yes, this is an annual event. Sunday happens down on Ward Parkway and on the Plaza area. So right after we hopefully win that trophy back for Dragon Boat Festival is the very next day. So lots going on there. Kathy?
Hi, so the event is on June 15th on the Plaza. It's going to be a 1 mile run, 1 mile walk, and then a 2 mile run. It starts at 7 a.m. and is until 10:30 a.m. And we're going to have local vendors that are pet related there for the event. And it's all benefiting the Humane Society of Greater Kansas City.
Very good. Great cause. Any questions, concerns, comments? All right, hearing none, all those, let's see, could I get a motion to approve? I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, motion seconded. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good. Resolution number 30413.
Yes, Commissioners, another annual event involving running, I guess this case without dogs, but a whole marathon. And I know Sarah's here from the Sports Commission, and the memo you have is from Shannon, and either one of the two, or
Yeah,
maybe both of
come
the
on
ladies
up,
can answer
Sarah. You
questions.
know this gig.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
There. So we will have the marathon the third weekend, third Saturday in October every year. This year will be October 17th. We are celebrating about 36 years of this marathon, so we're super excited to see it grow and its growth over the last couple of years especially. So the event will be on Saturday. It starts at 7 a.m. The Finish Line Festival and the festival beginning and ending in that event will be at Washington Park. And 26.2 miles is the full marathon, half marathon, 5K, and a team relay. And we also have the kids marathon as well. So.
Okay, great. Any questions, comments? Best of luck on your event.
Thank you.
Is
We're
there,
excited.
is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion second.
Fantastic.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good, motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Resolution number 30414.
Yes, Commissioners, this is an amendment with KC United Tennis for the operation of the Plaza Tennis Center, and you have a memo in your packet from Doug, who's handling this contract, and I know Scott is also here today, Scott Hanover, who is the on-site manager, and we recommend approval, and both gentlemen are here to answer questions.
Yeah, this is year two of a possible 5 years, and Scott's here to kind of give you a little recap on what's going on down there.
All right, fantastic, great.
Afternoon.
Afternoon.
Sorry, this wasn't in your packet, but I prepared just a little summary for folks.
Thank you.
And extras if the audience wants any. Commissioners, thank you very much for letting us visit today. Just wanted to say that we're very excited to continue the relationship between KC United Tennis and the Parks Board, and just kind of gave you a list of all the different things that are going on at the tennis center. In fact, literally, there's an event going on right now. I left. There's a big high school tournament going on, so I excused myself for a few minutes, and we'll rush back as soon as you say yes. And just we have some great things going on. Just I want to mention about 3 highlights because I think they're really special. One is we're hosting for the 2nd year in a row the Native American Indian National Tennis Championships in Kansas City, and we're really excited to bring that event here. They're still kind of growing and reorganizing. We're about to have on the May 1st weekend, the 9th Annual Husband-Wife Public Parks National Tennis Championships. We're one of the few public places in the country that actually host a UST National Championship. Most of those are held at clubs or private facilities, so we're excited that we've been the host all 9 years. We already have people signed up from San Francisco, Virginia, Montana, that are coming in to play in the event, and that's great. And we just continue all of our regular programming like I list, and we have a lot of great community partners that we work with, and we're always open to new ones. So if you know of some group that wants to do tennis, please send them to me, because we'd love to help them.
Great.
Any questions about anything you see there? Or?
Yeah, what's the bracket of death?
I was gonna ask that question. Is that like Fight Club?
Tennis rackets.
The bracket of death is basically a one-day tournament. Lots of adults, and particularly millennials, don't like the traditional format of tennis tournaments that might last over 3 days. So bracket of death is a one-day, you play all day kind of thing until there is one champion crowned. And they basically, it started as just a men's-only event. Now it's men's, women's, and mixed. So there's 3 different ones throughout the year. And there's a great deal of pride amongst the players. You don't sign... Typically with tennis, you also sign up with a partner. This, you sign up individually, and you're paired with a random person. They literally draw them out of a hat, and that's who you're with, and it's very fun, as you can imagine by the name.
Do you all offer lessons for adults, or you'll brush up lessons? You
Oh,
can pay
yes.
for a package?
Yes, you come see me later. We'll help you with that. But yes,
Very
yes,
quietly,
no,
okay.
we have regularly scheduled adult classes in the evenings for all levels. So
That's pretty cool.
yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Where does folks get information about this? Is there a website or a?
Yeah,
newsletter that-
plazatenniscenter.com, and my email address is on the flyer too, so,
Cool, yeah.
yeah.
There's a link on our website also.
Oh, even better. Excellent, okay.
Great.
Thank you.
All right, Scott, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We Appreciate it. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion seconded. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good, resolution passes. Thank you. Yes, best of luck with your event. yes.
Enjoy.
Thanks, Scott.
Resolution number 30415.
Yes, Commissioners, this is their annual contract for the mayor's night hoops. Casey Keys is the contractor. We've used them before in the past, went through the selection process, and this year, and they were selected. And we have a memo in your packet, outlines the details, and Roosevelt is here if you have any questions.
All right. Any questions of Roosevelt regarding this? Okay, hearing none. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good, resolution passes. Resolution number 30416.
Yes, Commissioners, this is the Mayor's Night Kicks, the soccer version, and over at 9th and Van Brunt's the location of the program, and Guadalupe Centers is the contractor. Again, you have a memo in your packet from Roosevelt, and he's here to answer any questions you might have.
Any questions of Roosevelt? Okay, hearing none. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, and the chair abstains. Now, on to resolution number 30417.
Back again to the 9th and Van Brunt location. We have an agreement with GNR as our concession operator at this location. Again, you have a memo in your packet from Roosevelt, and he's here to answer any questions you might have.
All right, any questions regarding this? All right, hearing none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion seconded. For discussions, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good. Resolution number 30418.
Yes, Commissioners, this is an agreement with Ambiance on the Water, which is the gondola boats on Brush Creek. We've been working with Ambiance on the Water now for about 10 years, and this will take us into a new term contract. You have a memo in your packet from Forrest. Forrest is out of the office today. Dave Burke is here, who is managing this contract, and he's here to answer any questions you might have.
Any questions? All right, maybe we'll have a nice little ride on the gondola here sometime soon,
Yeah.
after the dragon boat races.
Yeah.
Let's go cruise out. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion seconded. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good. Resolution passes. Resolution number 30419.
Yes, Commissioner, this is a bid award. Blue Moon Hauling is the contractor. This is for the rugby fields at the north end of Hodge Park, and recommend approval. If you have any questions, Travis is here to answer them.
Any questions of Travis? Any comments?
No, I think this is good. Rugby was one of the sports that was really, had high growth,
Yep.
That's great.
changing with the
And I
times.
hear from a couple of individuals out north about a lack of rugby fields, so this will give me an opportunity
That's
to
great.
reply.
That one, it's coming.
Go scrum with them, there you go.
Good.
Sounds great. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion seconded, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Resolution number 30420.
Yes, Commissioners, this is an agreement with Union Station. As you may be aware, they received a grant from the Missouri Development Finance Board to do some major improvements on their venue. Actually, there was an article in the morning paper about what they're doing with those funds. And the city's part of that is to provide $600,000, which comes basically from, I'll just simply say, from City Hall. And it passes through our department because most of the work will be done along Pershing Road.
Oh.
And so that's the pass-through. And as you can see, it's $60,000 in design fees and $540,000 in construction fees. And then we, of course, would make the money available and track its expenses, so it's properly used for those purposes, and recommend approval of the contract. Again, if you have any questions, Travis is here.
Travis, would you mind just giving us a quick, brief overview of the work itself? I think, I know it was mentioned in the paper, but I think for all of us to kind of get a sense of it.
Good afternoon, Board. The work that would be incorporated in this is the work along Pershing Road, and so really from the intersection there at Grand all the way over to Main, and from Main down to, what is it, the entrance, I guess it'd be the
Kessler.
western entrance.
Yeah, Kessler.
That was work within their plan that they submitted to the MDFB as far as improvements in that area. The focus, and it's been on the news here recently, is behind the facility, but a lot of the improvements right in front, adjacent to Block Fountain and so forth, will be in that area. So sidewalk improvements, streetscaping, landscaping, that sort of thing, improved pedestrian connection in that area.
Fantastic.
And then be along Washington Square Park, too.
That portion was included in the study, but I'm not certain as far as what improvements would be over in Washington Square Park. I know that they are concerned, maintaining that link over there, but as far as the improvements, I don't think that's been identified at this point.
So does this get as close as to the streetcar?
Yes, that's, part of this is that there's a streetcar station at that location right on Main
At
Street.
Main, yes.
So they have to kind of do improvements to Main and Pershing at the same time to allow
Correct.
for the streetcar stop. So it all ties in that.
Okay, I just,
Yeah.
okay.
It ties into, and part of it is, this last weekend, that north parking lot, or south parking lot, where they have the Ninja Warriors, all that, they're gonna create more of a patio out there, so you won't have as much traffic, so you have, the lanes of traffic are impacted upon by that too. As far as being able to park in front of the
Yeah,
building.
from the north, yes.
All right, thank you. Is there a motion to accept the resolution?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion seconded, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good, resolution passes. Resolution number 30421.
Yes, Commissioners, change order number 5, Blue Moon Hauling, variety of improvements listed in about the middle paragraph on the memo. Recommend approval, and there again, if you have any questions, Travis is here to answer.
Any questions of Travis?
I'll abstain from this vote.
Okay, very good. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is seconded, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good. Let's see, on to resolution number 30422.
Yes, Commissioners, Independence and Benton intersection, design professionals, Lochner. This amendment with Lochner would be to extend the time of the contract up till October 15th of 2015. We are going through the design review process now with MoDOT and about ready to go out for bid, and therefore the time extension with our design professional. And again, if you have any questions, Travis is here to answer those.
Any questions at this time of Travis? And hearing none, is there a motion to accept?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is seconded, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Resolution passes. Resolution number 30423. regarding...
Yes, Commissioners, this is a alternative grant award, MoDOT. This is a Transportation Alternative Program, $500,000. You have a memo from Travis that outlines, and this is the work up at Lakewood Greenway, which is sometimes we call the south end of Penguin Park. And of course, there's some matching PIAC money to go with this.
That's correct.
As you can see, the $125,000. Again, if you have any questions, Travis is here to answer.
Travis, what will this work entail?
Scott Overbay is project manager on this project, and we had a meeting last week to cover with some of the neighborhood folks a separation in this project as far as separating the trail portion of this out from the work that's going to be done around the lake. So this will account for the trail work. The reason for doing that is that in these TAP grants and LPA grants that are administered through MoDOT, there is no warranty that's allowed for revegetating the site. So if the project gets done in December, it's done in December. There's no warranty on, the trees or vegetation, that sort of thing coming back. So all the work, the restoration work and so forth around the lake will separate out and have that as one project. And then this money will be focused just on the trail connection so that we didn't have to incorporate as much of that, the vegetation portion of that we can handle under the other contract then.
This pretty much gets us connected to Shoto then?
Yeah, this will take it from Shoto up, 46, up above 46 Terrace.
46 Terrace.
Yeah.
Which will actually give us a trail to the river again in
Yeah.
another place. Good.
Okay, great. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
That resolution passes. Resolution number 30424.
Yes, Commissioners, change order number 1, National Streetscape for citywide trails and access. You can see in the middle paragraph of the memo, it kind of outlines the scope involved. Of course, PIAC funded project. Again, if you have any questions, Travis can answer them.
Okay, any questions? Hearing none, is there a motion to accept?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is seconded. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Resolution passes. Resolution number 30425.
Yes, Commissioners, this is a agreement with Highwoods Property for Seasons 52. This is their valet parking permit.
Okay.
They're right there along Ward Parkway, and this would be their annual rate and would recommend approval.
All right, any questions? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion seconded. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
All right.
Is it okay we just take 16, 17, 18, and 19 all together, all cafe, all cafe services? Okay. We'll just go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
Are there any questions regarding resolutions number 30426 through 30429?
Yeah, they're all sidewalk cafe
Yes,
permits.
throughout.
Most of them are renewals.
Los Tules, Los Bordel, Kona Grill, and the Quaff. Okay, excellent. I'm glad they're doing stuff like that, Rich. Is there a motion to accept?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is seconded. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good. Pass. On to the director's report.
Yes, the first item, Commissioners, is a grant report. This is a status of where we are on grants at the present time. Terrence has been working on these. This is something we've done in the past, and we got behind on it, and so thanks to Terrence for catching us up on it. And you have a document that's got active grants and pending and denied grants up to date, and if you have any questions, Terrence can answer them.
Anything interesting, Terrence, you want to update us on? Fun? You did a lot of hard work, so let's hear what you... I'll give you an
Just to
opportunity.
give you an update on the Garrison Center Tornado Safe Room.
Yes.
Actually, there was 46,400 that was addition requested on that. So that total for amount requested should be $1,045,016. And then for the 2014 NFL Play 60 school kickoff, that $1,500 that was awarded was $1,500 in equipment. So that wasn't actually monies that were sent here.
So it's like uniforms and things.
Yeah, well, yeah, flags and belts and study material for the students.
So we still have several pending. That's great.
Yeah, some of them yet to be determined.
Oh, okay, the summer food program, actually, that's going to be, how I understand it, 50 days of lunch and snacks during summer camp. And so it would be June, July, and a few days of August, and that will be through the community centers.
What's the anticipated date of receiving word whether we were denied or approved?
That's a great question. Each of those are different.
Sure.
Yeah, each of those are different, and so for the summer food service program, I'm not really clear on that, but I can get that information to you.
Roosevelt may want to answer that.
Yeah.
So we are currently in conversation right now with the Department of Health and Senior Services. We've been led to believe that we're probably most likely going to get approved for this, and it's just a matter of kind of working out those details. So right now we're just kind of working through. We have to do some inspections on our sites. Some of our staff does, and they come and look at them as well. They haven't given us a date exactly, but from what we understand it's fairly quickly. So we submitted it officially, I want to say Wednesday of last week was when we submitted that. We had a phone call yesterday. We have another phone call just talking through some of the details. So we anticipate hearing something back fairly quickly. The deadline for the submission was May 1st, so we were well ahead of that. So right now we're just making sure we do all the things we have to do before then. So I think we're in good shape.
This is a program that was previously administered through the Neighborhood and Community Services.
Sure.
And their budget was cut, so we picked it up. So we're pretty excited that we'll at least have a way for the kids this summer.
That's what I was going to say. I'm so glad that we're doing something like this so that we can at least have the option of providing snacks and lunch for kiddos who may not have it during the summertime. So.
Yeah, well, there's several other groups, I mean, obviously, school districts, I know us in our organization, we have basically an open meal program, and so, getting the information and coordinating amongst all those is critical, so even if the kids don't want to come to our site, at least they have information about other places they can go to get that.
Yeah.
So get fed over the summer program, over summertime, that's critical.
Yep. And so we're called an open site, so anybody can come
open
and
site, exactly.
feed. We anticipate through our summer camps, feeding about 470 kids a day. So, and then we can also sponsor other organizations. We're not to that point. One day we want to get there, but right now we're starting off with ours. So.
Fantastic.
Cool.
Great work. I'm
Thank you.
glad y'all did that.
That is fantastic. Yeah.
Okay.
It's good to see.
And just one more on the forest health protection. The requested was for EAB, and that was the 134. 880 was for insecticide, and then the match is a removal of the ash trees.
So and that's pending still to get.
Pending, yes. I mean, in all honesty, it's not looking good since it's been so long, but we haven't received a letter saying that that grant was denied.
Still in the running.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good. Terrence, while you're still up there, we have another one. You've been working on group volunteering.
Yes, Commissioners, we have the group volunteering list, and what's on this list is recent and future group volunteering activities. As you can see, on March 28th, we were very busy, and those estimates came for the Blue River cleanup. Those estimates came from Vicki Richmond, who was with Healthy River Partnership.
Right.
And so she gave me a range, and so I just gave you the low end of the range, but actually she thought there were just over 750 volunteers, and she's going to give me confirmations on these numbers as well. And she thought there were closer to 40 tons of trash picked up. And so, but like I said, I just gave you the low end. And then the Vietnam War Memorial, this is something that the American Century Investment, that company wants to do on an annual basis. And so we're looking at some things that maybe so they can adopt that park, but they made a great difference in that park. Well, I wasn't able to get before and after pictures, but because of this, I'm going to start doing that. And also Channel 5 News was there to video the park cleanup. And another interesting fact about this cleanup is that one of the gentlemen that volunteered was actually a Vietnam veteran. And so they, Channel 5 spoke to him as well. And then on April 6th, in partnership with Water Services in Rockhurst High School, they were cleaning up Brush Creek. And I do have pictures of that cleanup. It looks like a whole lot of trash, but it was a lot of styrofoam that was in Brush Creek, and so it looks like it should be more than 500 pounds. But they made a great difference as well. And this was written before the actual April 17th date with Oak Hill Day School, which is actually in Gladstone. And Oak Hill Day School contacted Missouri Department of Conservation, which in turn contacted me to set this up for them. And actually, they had 55 students and faculty there, and not 60. And the science teacher, and they want to do this again on an annual basis, but they want to move around the city and not just at Frank Vedic Park. And then on April 18th, with St. Elizabeth Catholic Church. This was more of a community cleanup. And so they started on 75th and Main and walked down 75th Street and cleaned up trash off the streets, sidewalks, and they were even cleaning up trash off of people's front yards. And so during that walk to Tower Park, they actually picked up 6 additional volunteers that seen them cleaning up and just joined in. And so about...
That's exactly it.
And so at 9 o'clock, it started promptly at 9 o'clock. Close to 10 o'clock, it started raining when a lot of the volunteers weren't quite to the Tower Park. It rained pretty hard Saturday morning. And so the actual cleanup in Tower Park wasn't that significant. It was about 15 people that actually made it to Tower Park. And there was actually 27 people, including the 6 volunteers that on April 18th that volunteered at that project. And then the next 3 are playground installs. And so, I'm sorry, we have on the 25th, this Saturday, One Park Place will be doing some cleanup at Penn Valley Park, and they may be doing some minor painting as well. All right, and so the 3 June dates are going to be playground install dates.
Cool.
And so what we're looking at doing is the district which these parks are located, they'll do most of the heavy lifting. And so, and then the volunteers will come in and tighten bolts, add mulch, and do some things about cleaning up around the park. Now, these are very popular, once I put the word out. So if these 3 aren't able, even though they committed, there's people waiting to actually install those playgrounds. And then I talked to, actually this morning, Midwest Pool Management was here, and they changed that number to, they'll have 80 kids, so it'll be just under 100 at the Frank Vedic Park and the Line Trail cleanup.
Yeah, we'll get back.
Great.
Any questions?
Terrence, are these products you've listed, are these groups that have signed up through you and through the Parks Department to clean up parks properties?
Yes.
Okay.
And so these are the groups that contacted me prior to cleaning up.
Yeah, Terrence is serving as our volunteer coordinator, so his name's out there. That's why they're calling.
You're the man now.
And as you can see, he's doing a great job of getting volunteers.
It's fantastic.
And I asked that question because I'm thinking, I know there's been a lot of effort to clean up parks, properties, mainly Cliff Drive and Kessler Park over the northeast. And the west side is getting a lot of neighborhood groups that are getting together to clean up. Perhaps they should be in contact with you to make sure that their efforts coordinate with the staff.
And so, like you mentioned, there's been some rogue efforts to clean up the park. And so we've been trying to contact these groups to have them at least come through. And actually, we had, in all honesty, we had Cargill cleaning up yesterday in the park. But we're clearing that up. We'll have that under control shortly.
Is there, Heidi, forgive me if I don't know this, is there a place on our website that says to volunteer? Is there? Okay, I
Yeah.
just can't remember. Thank you.
Your email.
Then do you have a list, how do you find the appropriate project for?
Well, actually, how I've, this list and how I've done it in the past is I'll just talk and see what they're interested in doing.
Okay,
Yeah.
And then we go from there, what's close.
okay.
And then the playground install just came from a need that we have.
That's cool. Perfect.
So you're matching them up is what you're doing?
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Travis?
Good afternoon, Commissioners. You have a copy of the project description summary in front of you. This is the Fishing River Gabion Wall project. This is a project that about at least 2 years in the making up there. We worked with Lee and O'Kane to develop a workable solution for bank stabilization along the Fishing River, and then had to obtain a U.S. Army Corps of Engineers permit for that limited amount of work in that area. And then now we're finally completed with the installation of the gabion walls and the planting of the trees and replacing of the riparian vegetation in that area. As far as where this is located, this project, on your location map, if you look right above the I in Fishing, on Fishing River Greenway, what makes this area, I guess, subject to this type of repair is that it's right at the confluence. There's a drainage way running down between these homes in this direction, and then the creek or river actually is running toward the properties as it meanders in this location. So you're at a confluence and it's pointed directly at the property, so that's why the bank stabilization occurred. Now, tying back to some of the things that have taken place since this subdivision went in, we do have stream setback ordinances now that would have pushed these properties well off of this location, had a new subdivision come on board, since those requirements went in place.
So like, how much further back would they have to be? Quite a bit.
Right now, the minimum is 75 from the 100-year floodplain. That's the minimum.
Where are these guys?
These guys,
They're like in the
a lot
They're
of
in the floodplain.
the drainage easement on a lot of the lots in this area actually extends into their yards. So,
Into their house, so.
so that's some of the issues that we face here. This first photograph is facing west here, and part of this project not only included the installation of this gabion wall here, but there was a very large pile, approximately 20 feet tall and 30 feet long, of accumulated brush and so forth from the greenway. As you can imagine, this stuff washes down, and again, it's a meandering stream, and it is a greenway, so that material was brought over here to the south side and placed in a depression over here and compacted behind an existing grove of trees, so prevent that from washing on downstream. And then there was area disturbed on both sides of the stream it took rather large equipment to get this accomplished, so they had to put temporary crossings in, and so that's what you'll notice, this green on the south side over here, and in the next photo as well, that's looking across the stream to the south side of the greenway. And then this is before the work had been done. That's on the last page there, the two photos on the north side with the erosion control mat, the new trees. The fence is more of just a guide in that location because, as you can see, that wall is about just under 10 foot tall from the creek bed itself. So in the design, they put the wall up. Once the trees are mature and so forth, really the need for that, will diminish because you'll have a natural barrier in that location.
So when were these houses built?
Let's see, I think these were in the 90s.
Yeah, about 20 years ago.
Yeah. And part of the parkland dedication at that time was, let's give Parks and Rec the drainage way. And so this is some of the things that, we inherit over the ways. And in and of itself, it's not a bad thing. It's good, and we like greenways, like to protect the greenways. But, as people tend to build and want to mow right up to the edge of those stream banks and so forth, that that's not a good thing when you're trying to control erosion through there, because you get attack from both above and below. And this last photograph's a good example where the fence is located here, that bank had eroded off to about a 1-to-1 slope, or about a 45-degree slope. And so with the gabion wall that's put in, we were able to flatten that slope out to about a 3 1/3 to 1. So you go out vertically 3 1/3 feet for every foot you drop. So it's a flatter slope. The type of materials that we went back with were Shumard oaks and sycamores that fit in with that riparian corridor, as well as Canadian rye and river oats are the planting materials. So, any questions?
And the dollars to pay for this? or-
About $180, a little over $180,000
And the source?
Cheap compared to.
was Pyack District 1
Wow.
funds.
So it reinforces there's $180,000 in public money
And then about. and then-
because we did not have a stream setback ordinance in place 20 years ago that we have today.
Yeah, I don't know if we could say that point blank, but it's a very good correlation, yes.
Thank you.
All right, well, those 3 houses are.
That's pretty point blank.
That's a lot of public money for 3 houses, so there you go. All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
All right, Heidi.
You remembered.
Good afternoon. We're passing around some of these little groovy workout towels that are promoting our new community center campaign, A Better You is in Reach. We kicked off the campaign on April the 11th with a Discover Day, where we offered free admission and activities at all 10 of our community centers. And it was a pretty successful day. We had 804 new people sign in that had came to one of the centers during the day to participate in some of the programs and activities. And since that time, we've had 253 people sign up for new passes, activities, or programs. So that's just been less than 2 weeks, so that's good. And then the discount on the All Access Pass, which is really what we're promoting, continues through May 11th, where you can get an All Access Pass, which is good for quite a few things at all 10 centers for $200 as an adult, and it's $100 for senior citizens. So it's a really, really good deal. And that includes classes, access to the fitness centers, open swims, and ice skating as well.
Is the remainder of 2015, or is that a 12-month?
It's a 12-month from the day you buy it.
That's
Get 2 of them.
I'm serious, it's a really good deal.
No, it's a really good deal. So retweet those tweets.
I'm on it.
Thank you. Okay, then we've also had quite a few activities in addition to that. We had our Fountain Day, of course, which is the best day in Kansas City, and it was a beautiful day on April the 14th. I want to thank you for coming out. I'm sorry you were stuck there in the office, but you've certainly made it past the fountain and gotten to see the renovations.
Yes.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So we had a really good turnout for that. That was our biggest Fountain Day ever, but with people attendance for sure. We normally have a really good media turnout, but we had people who were so excited about the renovation of the fountain and the return of the dolphin. So it was a very cool day. And then, of course, Seville Fountain is turned back on, which is just absolutely gorgeous. So that corner was under construction and looked really bad for a while, but now it's beautiful again. So we also had Arbor Day at Lewis Park last Saturday, and as Terrence mentioned, it did rain on Saturday quite heavily. So
Trees watered fast.
yeah. Still a pretty decent crowd, though. Those tree lovers actually come out in the rain and come out in force. So we did a kind of a Healthy Trees initiative with Bear as well, and they were out there giving away trees and goodie bags all day. And then we also had a presentation for us being the 27th year of being a Tree City USA, which is a big deal. And the guy, head of the Arbor Day Foundation in Nebraska, Dan Lamb, actually came down for it. So that was pretty cool. On Monday, we had the Show Me State Games Torch Run back at J.C. Nichols Fountain, and Mark led the pack of women around the plaza. Although Councilman Reed jumped in at the last minute, reminded me of the St. Louis Marathon girl. Just kind of jumped in at the end and came running in with a torch.
Photo.
Yeah, for a good photo op, actually. So that was a fun event, as always. Another mural reception and unveiling, this one at the Brush Creek Community Center. That's part of the Map It program that we do with 1% for the Arts and Maddie Rhodes, and then Councilman Wagner is very involved in that. So if you haven't gotten a chance to see those murals, one at Kansas City North and one at Brush Creek, they're just beautiful
Very, very well
pieces
done.
of art. Yeah, both are, each one is very different from the other. And then, Mark, I know there's a couple more coming up in other places.
Yeah, we've got the 9th in Van Brunt, we've got the one over at the Grove Pool, and the one at 9th, and the one over that we're doing, those are outdoor ones in those
Okay,
locations.
yeah, so it's a really neat partnership and brightens up our facilities. This weekend, we have, talking about brightening up our facilities, we have Chalk Walk on the concourse, where they will do chalk painting in the fountain, which will be turned off. Then we have community information exchange, and then the beginning of May, we are going to do a ribbon cutting for the new shelter in Hidden Valley Park up north. So, and then, as you know, it just goes on from there with something almost every weekend. So there's a lot going
City
on.
going pretty good right now? I think we're having good
Yeah.
dialogue with the neighborhood.
Yeah, we've had a couple of follow-up meetings with the neighbors on both just the cycle in the city and then just general permitting of events and races. We made it through Rock the Parkway, pretty much unscathed, just a few unhappy
Yeah, and,
residents.
I saw John Murphy actually attended Arbor Day event, and he was very pleased.
Yeah.
He didn't yell at us or nothing. So
And then, of course, there's the trolley track run, I guess, this weekend, so that impacts
yeah,
the
Sunday.
other side, or trolley trail. So, anyway, we've got our website statistics. They were huge for the month of March, 20,000 more than last year. March of 2014, a 63% increase in visitors from February. A lot of that's attributed to the shelter reservations beginning, people getting online, checking them out, see what's available. And then we can continue to increase in our social media. Facebook, not as much as Twitter and Instagram, which just have become kind of the new platforms for social media, and we're gaining members daily on that, so. That's all I have.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. All right, public hearing. I believe we have, anybody signed up? Anybody here, public? Okay, all right, very good. Let's do a quick calendar review.
Yes, a couple board meetings coming up, with major partners. Friends of the Zoo tomorrow at 4, Starlight Theater at 7:30 on Thursday. And our next board meeting then will take us into the month of May, on May 5th. And Heidi talked about the shelter dedication on the 4th, and employees breakfast on the 20th. And anyway, that's gets us into May.
Great, all right. Is there anything else? I just want to say thanks to Carmen Bradley. She got every last tab filled in our book without missing a beat. I think we get enough credit to Carmen and all the great work she does, so thank you, Carmen.
Yes.
That's right. I just wanted to embarrass you today. Thank you very much. All right, so with that, meeting is adjourned.
Everybody else did.